CJ said something last year at the conference that I think is so important. He said, if you want to feel deeply, you need to think deeply. If we want to feel deeply about God, if we want emotions and feelings for God, we need to be ready to think deeply, to study God's Word. A lot of us want deep emotions and feelings when it comes to Jesus. And I know I'm like this. So often when I think about knowing Jesus and relating to Jesus, I want this experiential, relational feeling. I want to feel close to him. I want to feel like he likes me, that he would like hanging with me, that he likes my music, that he likes the way I dress, that we could just be together, that we're buds. You know what I'm talking about, man? That's and if you really put into words all those feelings and desires that you have about Jesus, it starts to sound like a 7th grade girl coming home from camp. You know what I mean? But feeling built on feeling, emotion built on emotion, it's an empty thing. You want to get closer to Jesus, you're not just going to be able to feel your way towards that. I mean, that's what we could do with this conference, right? We could get Bob up here. We could just say, Bob, play some really hardcore emo music for us, man. And we could all just be like, ah. And we could look at each other and be like, how do you feel about Jesus? And be like, I don't know what I feel. Actually, I feel hungry right now. I feel. And it could only last so long. But there are people, and I used to be one of them. I mean, when I first met CJ, man, I was reading some really whacked out stuff. Do you remember this, man? I actually brought CJ a gift. One of the first times that we were together, I thought he'd be so impressed because I was reading these really like mystical Christians, and they were like feeling their way towards God, and I thought it was really deep. And so I gave him this book, and I'm like, he's going to be really impressed that I'm so deep. And he was like, oh, no. And that was really the beginning of me learning that emotion and feeling, first of all, it's a good thing, but it needs to be built on something solid, something that's not going to change based on the weather or your emotions, something that's unchanging. And what's unchanging is the truth about Jesus, sound doctrine, the true words of the apostles given to us in the New Testament, the proclamation of Christ and him crucified. Jesus, the firstborn over all creation, the firstborn from the dead, the one who has conquered death, the one who is greater than all things, the one who doesn't change, the one who died for you. You dig your way into that truth. You consider that it's for you, and the emotions will come. The feelings will come, and they'll be built on something that is solid and unchanging. And you will stand firm when trials come, when difficulties come, when that torrent makes its way towards the house of your life will not just be built on some fleeting experience, some moment that you had at some Christian conference, some moment of crying in the past. Now it will be founded and built on something that is right under your feet right now, the unchanging truth of who Jesus Christ is.